is another ripper. Goodness me, has Blair Tickner grown another couple of inches in the last 2 overs?
It's gone the other way. It's nipping in and out. Butler will be disappointed because we saw him a lot using his feet, getting outside the line of off stump and protecting those stumps. This time he stood there on middle, gave Tickner the opportunity to go through the gate, and he obliged.
How is that missed? How is that missed? Tickner's fired up. And the crowd can sense it. England knows it. Cars has missed that by a week.
Is any intent to bat the 50 out, is there? So go harder.
It's going to be entertaining. I don't know how long it's going to go for, but it's going to be entertaining. The craziest thing is, Bonnie, I get the impression that England feel already that, you know what, we're so far out of this match, what's the point in noodling it around for the next 30 overs? Just go out there and give it a heave-ho.
Well, Cass is very capable with the bat. So's Archer. It's rare that you get an opportunity to bat for 20, 25 overs, especially with an Ashes series to come. You take that opportunity to bat as long as you can, score what you can, and then you never know on a surface that's offering plenty.
I tell you what, it's amazing how a crowd gets into a game organically when there's not pop music blaring between every ball, isn't it?
26.1 overs to go. England can still get 220. There's enough batting to do that. If you get 220, get a couple of early wickets. As we've seen in the series, England have been in the games. Anything can happen, but you've got to do the yards to get there. Both these men are capable of doing that.
What's the thinking there? It's the brains trust of this team, certainly at test level. Joe Root, Brendan McCullum. Oh, backing away, exposing all 3 stumps. They got excited. Let's all go here. 103 for 7. There is the England batting card, and it does not make for great reading if you're an England cricket fan. Butler top scorer today, just 38. Tiaku Mairangi Hill in the background. It's another beautiful set of trails in the town belt here in Wellington. A few of the England boys might want to go for a long bushwalk actually, have a think about the series. There it is. Tiaku Mairangi Hill. Connects the trails all around the city, and it is truly gorgeous for trail runners, walkers. Lovely asset to have here in the capital, rung with hills as it is. Down the pitch, it's the inside of the bat. Jamie Overton just caught betwixt and between here. Overton's the kind of player, as he's shown in this series so far, he can put together a quick fire 40. That's going to be helpful if Cars can stay at the other end. Overton is capable of putting some very important runs on the board. You've got to think too, There's one of the bowlers in the sides. 2 bowlers out there now. I'm going to think, geez, I wouldn't mind a target. I wouldn't mind something to defend. Probably feeling a bit chasing that they have to do it all themselves, but it's life.
Well, they are a strong bowling attack. The wicket with seam movement, they've got good pace, probably a quicker attack than New Zealand. Saw what Archie could do in the last game, got a good leg spinner. Just needs something to bowl at.
Last ball of the centre over. Oh, Mitchie. Gets down to it nicely, this cast. That's a nice shot. Takes the single. He'll maintain the strike. It is 106 for 7. Time for some Frankie and Grant.
रानी ये नहीं जानती कि उसे खतरा बाहर से कम भीतर से ज्यादा है।
पीएम की कुर्सी से गिराने वाली अगर कोई है तो वो केवल रानी भारती ही है।
उन्मा बड़ा कर रही है गवारा। जवाब तो देना ही पड़ेगा। 7 नवंबर से सिर्फ सोनी लिव पर।
Here in Wellington, and it's been an excellent start from the New Zealand seamers. They find themselves 106 for 7. 5 bowlers used so far for New Zealand. One has a waft outside the off stump at that one. Blair Tickner, since he's come back into this New Zealand side, he has looked unplayable.
He's bowled well. Had a chat with him before the game, and he's just so happy to be back in the squad, back in the team, just taking it one game at a time and just enjoying it out there. It's exactly what you should be doing in international cricket. He's been in and out of the team. He's had opportunities. He's definitely grabbing it with both hands now, bowling with good rhythm, great confidence after the last game. Wickets. That's the currency, wickets. We saw a shot of the harbour, Frankie. It was very calm out there in the Wellington harbour. It's definitely all but calm out in the middle for England. We've seen some real schizophrenic stuff. I thought Joss Buttler played brilliantly. I thought he looked to build an innings, but Braden Coss, there were 2 strokes in the last over. Wow, they were wild. He definitely showed his intent.
I think you see it quite often with players once they've spent a little bit of time outside, especially an international side. Works the same at domestic as well. And you get players once they've spent a bit of time out, they almost get the feeling as though they're not going to get another opportunity. So when that opportunity does arise, it's almost that freedom to play with because you didn't expect it. It's a nice carrot at the end of the hard work, the good domestic performances you put in, that you can just turn up and play with that freedom. And he's always someone who brings a lot of energy and enthusiasm to the game, loves what he's doing. It's so good to see him come back in that Hamilton game, just a big grin on his face most of the time.
I think one of the biggest things, though, is that when you get a taste for it and then you dropped. There we go. Cricket has started in Wellington. Can't see which club that is, but she loves it. Yeah, you get a taste for it, and he's played Test cricket, he's played one-day cricket, and then you find yourself out of the squad, and you always think, what would I have done differently? And generally, what that is maybe play with a little bit more freedom, not worry too much about the outcome, because selection takes care of itself. So you do play with a little bit more freedom, a little bit more relaxed. You've had the taste, you've had the debut, and it's just another opportunity that you can enjoy yourself in. You should be enjoying yourself out there playing international cricket.
Takes Alex. Yeah, that's it. Flat, hit hard. Straight into the stands to finish the Tickner over off. 113 for 7.
Do you feel it? Something heavy is approaching. Two giants of German football.
Harry Kane, it is the big name to deliver.
The current champion
Olise!
against the former champion.
Grimaldo!
It'll shake you up. Bayern versus Leverkusen.
Live on Sony Sports Network and Sony Live.
A little bit of damage here. Wellington Stadium. This is pure power. Bat speed. Hit flat. Hit hard. Thumps into the ball. A little bit of damage.
Lovely. Beautiful set.
I hope they've shown that up on the big screen, Grant. That's got to make you feel good as a player.
Not just going over the boundary always feels good, but if you can do a bit of damage as well, adds to the ego, power of the shot. Be interesting. I don't know what you think, Frank, but would you bring back Duffy or Folkes now? Maybe for a little, Folkes finish his spell. England is 7 down. It's about getting wickets now. It seems like these two are going to be aggressive. Your best bowler, I think Folkes is probably pick of the bowlers. Him and Duffy today. Edged. Probably just get 2 for it. Come back for 2. There's a little bit of turn on offer there for Mitch Santner. That'll interest him.
Yeah, always interesting. Mitchell Santner, he's got a lot of options up his sleeve. Of course, he's got fellow spinner and Michael Bracewell. Haven't seen him with ball in hand as of yet. Nathan Smith, the one that bowled a slightly shorter spell, just the 4 overs, maybe looms as an option to come back. The ultra aggressive move, as you said, though, is get Zach Folkes back in.
Well, I think you've got the option of Duffy or Folkes. You could just use one of them. Folkes has got 2 overs left. Duffy's got 3. In that case, you could keep Santner going from the one end and just bowl one of them out. But it's in the hope that you do get just that extra wicket.
Pitch set.
Oh, no. No. Flat and hard straight at him. Duffy has knocked that over the boundary rope. 27 gone, 121 for 7.
UEFA Champions League, PSG versus FC Bayern Munich, Wednesday, 5th November, 1:30 a.m. live on Sony Sports Network and Sony Live.
Showing off its weather today in Wellington. A couple of days we have been in the capital has been outstanding. And it will be the local lad, Nathan Smith, back into the attack. Not surprising they've gone back to Nathan Smith. He bowled that shorter spell earlier, and he is one that looks to hit the pitch hard, bolt into the surface, as we're seeing today. Good pace, good bounce, gets onto you quickly. And so if you are able to get a little bit of lateral movement to go along with that, there's just no time to adjust onto you before you're ready. And you look at that graphic and it shows, you may think that's a small difference, but that's only a little bit, but that is enough to have a really big impact out in the middle.
Yeah, well, it adds to the nip, and bounce. We've seen, there's been a couple of play-ons. But I think what's been impressive is how the pace bowlers haven't got carried away with it. Normally you see, I call it pretty bowling, where it's, back of a length going into the keeper, and it's just going through almost that sort of midriff height. The bowlers have settled in at a length. And looking at Hawkeye, that length has been around that sort of between 6.5 and 7.5 metre length, which has been dangerous. And you can see the difference in the blue ball today. More pace, similar bounce to Seddon Park, but more pace. And they've bowled the lengths. The lengths has been the key. They've allowed the ball to swing early on, bowled it full enough to let it swing, and they've used the seam movement on offer. It's been a brilliant display from the bowling unit.
Will just fall short. Mitchell at slip. It's a real skill in New Zealand conditions to be able to bowl that length, bowl full enough that it's committing people like this onto the front foot, searching for it with the hands, but it's not that soft full length. It's not a 4 metre length where you're pitching the ball up, hoping to bowl a miracle ball that swings around corners, but it just ends up long half volleys, easy pickings. Now I think that's something that England have struggled with a little bit with the ball. They've been much more 2 lengths. Sliced away, hit hard, couple of bounces away for 4. He's dangerous, Jamie Overton.
Yeah, he's given himself a little bit of room, and there's no one back on the boundary there, so it is almost a free hit. If he gets width, he just open the blade like he did, throw his hands through the line, the ball just fly over that cover point region. And the hope that the Black Caps or New Zealand players are hoping that maybe he gets a little edge, little tickle to Tom Latham or Daryl Mitchell.
Goes after it. The high short ball. Trying to close out the over, Nathan Smith. Too high on this occasion.
One for the over.
Comfortably overhead high. Easy decision at square leg. He's got 3 men out on the leg side, does Nathan Smith. 3 out on the hook shot. Fine leg, backward square, and then a man mid-wicket as well. Spoons does not carry. Early through the shot, all action out in the middle. 126 for 7.
This goes on.
There's nothing like
Saturday night,
the stars, the spotlight,
everyone is buzzing.
the spectacle.
It's so fun. Incredible.
An event this big is built for prime time.
Watch WWE Saturday Night's main event tomorrow 5:30 a.m. live only on Sony Sports Network and Sony Live.
It'll be the skipper for New Zealand to continue, Mitchell Santner. What is the tempter to start the over off with?
The last ball of the previous over, Nathan Smith banging it in at that length and hitting high up on the bat for Overton, but just falling short there of Santner. Not an opportunity, but this could be an opportunity. Up and over for 6. Wakas continuing on with his game plan. Is to try and hit every ball over the boundary, this time successful.
Oh, it's the 2 heavy hitters for England together. Tall, fast bowlers. That is a lusty blow down the ground.
Pace, lads.
He thought he was in the action for a long time there, Achin Ravindra. Goes to that slog sweep once again. They got enough of it. Back-to-back 6s. That's some serious striking here for Bryden Cass.
Well, Satner's tempting him. Outside off, slow turner. Drops the knee. Gets the length he needs. Will he go again?
He's prepared to toss it up, Mitch Santner. Gets it for 2 sixes and 2 balls and just goes slower and wider.
Yes, lovely boy.
Just waiting on that one.
Lovely Mitchie.
Pace on, flat, quick, at the stumps. What does he go do to close the over out? Is it the tempter once again? What is? And that's patience from Cars. Leaves it alone to finish the over off. 138 for 7.
Well, Wellington really enjoying the weather here in this one-day international, the third one. England there, you can see struggling at the start. Those little dots, just too many of them. Can they recover from here? It'll be a Herculean effort.
Biggest over of the innings for England. 2 sixes being struck off Mitchell Santner. Just trying to get the field right here in the cover region. Nathan Smith to continue.
And whenever you stand there as a batter now, you have to have a look at the field. And you can see there's one slip in place. Fine leg back on the boundary, backward square on the boundary, mid-wicket on the boundary. That would suggest that the wicket-taking delivery that Nathan Smith is trying to set you up for is a pull shot. He wants Overton to take on the short ball, get it wrong and get him out in that area. Outside of that, he's looking to just bowl back of a length, look for that edge. Be very accurate in that stock delivery.
Prepared to go to the short ball. It's an interesting little game within a game there. Leg side boundary, the short boundary, 56 metres square. And you've got 2 players who are prepared to take it on. 3 fielders set out in the deep. The short ball will be all around the height. You can get it through around head height, make it tough to be in control. Those 3 men in the deep could be in the action.
That's the stock delivery. That's where he needs to live. He needs to live there for 4 deliveries in the over and then test the batters with the bouncer. Like you said, it's the height. It was a cross seamer, that one. It's the height that's important, Frankie. But I think Overton has the ability to hit it along the ground like we saw first delivery. But I don't know if Cars, well, he might have the ability, but I don't think he wants to. I think he wants to go airborne as far as possible. So therein lies a small opportunity for the Black Caps.
Well, that goes aerial. And it's gone about halfway up into the stands too.
Can be a costly game plan, this. Can be rewarding if the player gets it wrong, but if he gets it right, small boundary. Swivel and hit. Use the pace of the bowler. Well, Cars just raced to 29. He's at 3 sixes and a 4 here. Jeez, an aggressive player.
Oh, goes again. That one is even bigger. Tries to go length this time, does Nathan Smith. Cast up to the task. Stand and deliver.
This is a monster. He moves to his highest ODI score and list A score in his career. Might well be his day, Cos. And that brings up the 150 for England. New Zealand now, between game plans, the cover goes back now, fine leg comes up. The problem with that game plan is it can be costly.
Slip comes out too, plugs a gap in the offside. Just trying to get himself out of the over now, Nathan Smith. Goes pace soft but wide. Too wide on this occasion. With that, 50 partnership comes up between the two big quicks for England. Just the 40 deliveries. Bryden Cast, the dominant partner, 35 of 25. And Jamie Overton doing a good job, good partnership building here for England. Change of pace once again. A slower delivery does the trick this time. 30 overs gone. It's 152 for 7. And with that, players will take a drinks break.
There's nothing like Saturday night main event. The stars, the spotlight. Everyone is buzzing. The spectacle. So wild, incredible. An event this big is built for prime time.
Watch WWE Saturday Night's main event tomorrow 5:30 a.m. live only on Sony Sports Network and Sony Live.
रफ्तार के इस खेल में गोता लगाने के लिए तैयार हो जाइए। चेन्नई क्विकन का ये दूसरा शिकार है। And there it is! There it is! Dream run! Make no mistake, it is a tall task, it is a big ask. Skydive आई है, 2 पॉइंट और लाई है। आज अल्टीमेट खोखो ने इतिहास रचा है।
देखिए अल्टीमेट खोखो लाइव सिर्फ सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और सोनी लिव पर। Sony Sports Network presents Cricket Blockbuster Season.
जी हाँ, तेज तर्रार क्रिकेट के लिए हो जाइए तैयार।
Sony Sports Network.
Wow, what a game of cricket we're having. What a beauty.
Sony Sports Network.
Other players take on some refreshments here in Wellington. Tough start for England once again. In top order, struggling to find any runs as it continues on. Josh Butler fought hard for his 38. But you look at this top order, Grant Elliott, and they just are struggling to get anything going here at all.
Well, there was movement on offer, there was swing. That one swinging into the boards of Joe Root. There was a little bit of seam. That was Ben Duckett. Great catch from Rachin Ravindra. They kept hammering that line and length. That was dangerous. Just that 7 metre, 6.5 metre length. And it's been all New Zealand. That one, an absolute piece. Blair Tickner to dismiss the world-class player, Josh Butler, who looked to be in good touch. Probably the only player looked to really dig in. You look at the top 4 batters, you mentioned struggling, Frankie. Well, these 3 matches, just averaging 7 between them. 2005. So the fewest runs ever in a 3-match series. I think that's meant to be 2025.
Well, that's not a table you want to be the top of, is it? And normally when we're looking at top orders and we're talking about runs scored, that's the table you want to be on the top of. But when we're talking about failures of your top 4, just put so much pressure on your side.
Yeah, that was for 2025. Obviously this series, but you know, I spoke about Root and I spoke about Duckett. I think that they really are the key to the foundation of their one-day team.
Because if they can hang in there, you've obviously got Josh Butler who can play both games. He can be aggressive, he can hang in there like he did today. But if you can build a foundation with two of your top 4 or 5, then you can bat around them and be aggressive. This one slashed away by Overton. Successfully opened the blade. There was a little bit of width on offer. Satner has been bowling wide, tempting them. This time he goes through the offside.
Well, it's shown there is some lower order resistance in this English side. They just cannot get that top order going, cannot lay any sort of platform for these middle lower order players to come in and be able to really put a dent in that scoreboard. Just leaked a few runs as of late, have New Zealand, and I wonder how much of a concern this partnership will be and whether it is time to go back to one of the wicket takers. Maybe it's back to Blair Tickner. He's had the hot hand since he's come back in. He's only bowled 5 overs so far. Maybe can get through another, just a short spell of 2 or 3.
Yeah, he did go off the field for a little while. He's back on. So he went off the field and then Smith was given another 2 overs. So I think you're right, Frankie. I'd like to see Duffy or Folks, but yeah, he'd also be a great option. Bowling with some good rhythm, still getting a little bit of movement as well. Feels like it's got that feel that it's just a holding pattern. New Zealand is just waiting for something to happen because they're overly aggressive. They're going, well, if we can bowl the ball in the right areas, let's wait for them to make a mistake. But now, they're actually being quite composed in the way they're accumulating. Just looking to get ones, looking to just push it around. It's really smart batting now. Partnership of 57. End of the over, 159 for 7.
Watch UEFA Champions League, Club Brugge versus Barcelona, 6th November, 1:30 a.m. Live on Sony Sports Network and Sony Live.
A good partnership here between Bryden Cass, Jamie Overton, the best of the innings so far. And much needed for England. On themselves, 7 down, still 19 overs to bat. New Zealand have gone back to the hot hand to Blair Tickner. Already picked up 2 wickets today in his first spell of 5 overs.
New Zealand gone away from the theory of fine leg back, square leg back, mid-wicket back. You see the bowlers shoot around. Smith probably a little bit expensive where he'd like to be, same as Satner, but it was the 2 6s that he was hit for by Cass. He covers back in third man, so a little bit of a split field. No one catching at this stage of the game.
It's always an interesting one, isn't it? Because what works so well for your top order picks you up 5 early wickets. Yes, I know the ball's swinging around and seaming round, but then you get up against some of the lower order players who are a little bit more unorthodox into different areas, take the game on slightly differently. Plan changes quite quickly. And you think, well, if it's good enough, if that bowling's good enough to be dismissing Duckett, Root, Harry Brook, you think, well, surely you can still play the patience game against the lower order too. Skied. Tracks back in extra cover, settles underneath it, grabs it. Tickner back into the attack. It only takes 3 balls and he's back in the wickets.
Safe with the bat in hand and safe with his hands. Daryl Mitchell, there's a fine catch. Well, there's the length you were asking for. Frankie Mackay, back of the length where they've lived all day. Cass just
One too many aggressive strokes, and that man Blair Tickner, well, he's happy. He's broken the partnership. He gets his third. It's Brighton Cars for 36. 160 for 8.
Archer in at number 10 for England. Not the worst player with the bat going around. Average over 19, strike rate over 100. He's out in the middle because of this. We'd seen a lot of short pitch bowling from the New Zealand seamers in the last half an hour. Blair Tickner comes back and bashes away at a length, goes slightly fuller. That delivery, the carrot is too much for Bryden Cast, goes after it. Skies one, and Daryl Mitchell, he does the rest.
Yeah, I don't think any of our viewers who are sitting in the hot tub or on the couch at home can underestimate how difficult that catch was from Daryl Mitchell. It wasn't an easy one. It went high. It was in the big blue, and he had to backpedal. Safe hands in the end. I was a little bit worried for him at one stage watching it live here, but definitely managed that extremely well.
It swirls around in the stadium too. You can see the feet going underneath it. Just trying to get himself settled. Did well in the end. You'd think on the break of that wicket, a partnership had built nicely. Surely it's the time you go back to one of your openers here. Maybe it's Jacob Duffy, operated from the northern end his first spell. Surely now England 8 down. You go, time to put foot on the throat here. Time to put some real pressure on Jamie Overton as to how he's going to play the situation. Jacob Duffy has got 3 for 36 in his 7 overs. Chance to wrap this up quickly. The seamers coming back in. Oh, an excellent once again. Great over from Blair Tickner. Just the 2 runs and the big wicket. 161 for 8.
Required 2 wickets. England would love some more runs. 32 overs only here. Bowled out in 36 overs in Hamilton on Wednesday. 223, the highest score so far of the series. England have batted first in all 3 matches, and that's a slight misfield and a bit of disappointment too, as Nathan Smith rolls around on the Sky Stadium turf. Good afternoon, Mark Richardson.
Afternoon, Scotty. Afternoon, all. I think of more significance is what's the most amount of overs they've batted for in the series?
Yes,
not enough. They got past 36.
Nope, they have not. Oh, Mitchell, outstanding. 35.2 at Mount Maunganui, 36 on the dot in Hamilton.
So they're getting better.
Oh, what's the check?
Well, today will be the test of that. Oh, swinging, side edge just dragged. Well, it was an entertaining innings from Cass anyway, 36 for him. think on it. I don't think there is any simple way to describe the malaise this team has found itself in here. Top order misfiring, and misfiring spectacularly on this tour. Historically so. But how much kudos do you give to the New Zealand bowlers who have bowled really, really well in the power play? They'll take a couple, come back, have to hustle through for the second, do well. 1-6-4 for 8.
Yeah, the New Zealand bowler's been very good. They got the ball swinging. But without a doubt, I feel shot selection in certain balls has let England down. Yeah, I know they want to be aggressive, but maybe the conditions haven't really suited their style of play. They haven't adapted well enough to it. Harry Brook, of course, on that top runs on the back of that brilliant century in an innings where there was only Overton who sort of joined with him. Interesting stat, that, isn't it? It's you got 2 English players up there on the list, but then the New Zealanders haven't had to chase much.
Lies, damn lies, and statistics. Harry Brook undoubtedly has been the outlier, and that's based on that first innings where he somehow managed to conjure 135 runs from 101 balls.
The most consistent's been Overton.
Yeah, that's very true. His 2 highest scores in his one-day career have come on this tour in the first 2 games. Looking to go past both here today, but particularly they have other ideas. That's cut away nicely. That's going to be 4 more to the cause.
Yeah, it was wide, it was outside off stump, it was there to be square cut, and that's what he did. It's been a part of his play as he's actually been pretty selective. He might bat lower in the order, but he shows good batsmanship.
Good numbers in the context of this series for Jamie Overton. Had an opportunity to speak to him this morning or this afternoon before the start of play. And charming fella. He just loves being in the team, likes playing his cricket. But he shares a squad-wide disappointment of the results to date and their performances to date in this series.
I hope he's not one of those bowlers who, when they do score runs in the top order, hasn't then sort of starts telling the batters how they should bat. And it wasn't that difficult out there. If you just move your feet, you'd be fine.
Be a brave bowler to tell Joe Root how to bat. I can tell you that much. I'm not in business of making excuses for England here, nor would they expect me to, nor would they want me to. But the other thing to consider, and I do think it is the elephant in the room, there are a number of players in the squad whose minds are, whether they are pros and seasoned pros or not, their minds might be elsewhere. There is a hell of a tour coming up for the likes of Duck and Root, Brook, others. And you can't dismiss that.
Mate, it's not a good sign looking forward if the Aussies are already in your head. You're not even in Australia.
Well, I don't think the Aussies are in their heads so much as they are thinking about the Ashes. It's the biggest deal in Test cricket, let's be honest. Again, that's no excuse for the performances here. This is a format that England has fallen behind on. But in 8 days' time, the Test squad will be assembling in Perth.
Disappointment of this series. Well, I mean, let's face it, New Zealand's still got a bat in this game.
That's true too.
Yeah, but if New Zealand do actually win like they have in the last games, I think at this point in the series will be long forgotten if they confront in Australia and get the job done.
No way should that diminish the importance of the series to New Zealand's course season. Oh, it's the leading edge, and it's been put down. Gee, that would have been a sharp chance. 173 for 8. Chance goes begging, last ball of the over. Oh, he's looking to work it away. And diving away to his right was Conway. In and out. An opportunity lost.
That got a good mid on it, didn't he? You'd be disappointed not to catch that. Especially when you're back in the side, you want to do something like that. Pull off a spectacular one before you've got to go out and bat.
He's in the side for Kane Williamson. He's fielding exactly where Williamson would have been. Here's Duffy. Trying to pull that away. No timing. It's high on the bat.